Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Today we are taking on the final stage of Dare to Defy 4. So this is the 7th stage, and this is Rosa's fight. Now what I was told was this boss is pretty tanky and having Astos is a good idea. So what I did was I did open up Astos from stage 6 because his fight was actually pretty easy. So I just stomped that with a different team. Now here, I'm running Rosa, Penelo, and Astos, and Astos really allows you to avoid a lot of mechanics of the boss. The boss, like when they go into force time, this boss is pushing a few things. Like they're going to do an HP poison, so they're really pushing that they want you to have like HP regen and healing, which Rosa can do. They also want you to have a lot of buffs. And so something that's kind of tricky about this boss is when they go into force time, and this is what happened to me on stream. So I did attempt this fight live on stream. I basically had him beat. He was down to like 2%. I just didn't understand that he was going to auto kill one of my units when he went in the force time. And so I basically had that fight done with the same team. But all I did was I optimized the fight a little bit more, and we definitely like crushed it this time in this video here that you're going to see. But if you do actually like fight him with full mechanics and get into his force time, what he's going to do is if your party doesn't have a total of 18 buffs, which means every party member has to be full of 6 buffs, that's the max you can have, he will auto-kill one of your party members, and that's what happened to me on stream. And Rosa's re-raise will not protect that. It's basically a cleanse and then a KO, so the re-raise will not work. So you have to make sure you either kill him before he goes into force time, or if you let him go into force time, that you make darn sure you've got 18 buffs down total on your team, which is 6 per character, right? But otherwise, I'm pretty much operating this the same way I did on stream. The only mistake I made on stream was I didn't put launching on with Astos. With launching, we do plenty of damage, and I think I ramp my gauge a little bit more too before I go in. So Penelo and Rosa are actually a pretty good combo for this team. 1, they do a lot of buffing. 2, there's a lot of force charging. And then 3, they have a lot of really good generic force conditions. So I decide here to opt with Penelo's FR because it's very generic and all the characters can meet it. And then the goal here is just to echo while I set up Astos. So Penelo here has to take a regular turn because she does not have echo, but we need her BT effect anyway. So we set up her BT effect. Rosa is just going to echo. Astos needs to get his BT effect up. And then we're going to echo again before we get to his next turn. And then he's basically going to set up Reigns and then go into burst phase. And then we'll be kind of good to go from there, right? I have had people comment that are kind of confused about Astos. Like, I got Astos BT and he does 0 damage. Well, you have to make sure you watch the character guide and understand how to use him. Because, yeah, Astos will do 0 damage if you don't put anything into his dark matter. And I think the thing that's kind of unique about Astos to other characters, he is really a character you have to fully build, right? He's not like a traditional character where you could have like just the 15 and 35 and like start attacking. Like he needs all of his weapons to have his dark matter working properly, and you have to be able to build up the dark matter. So yeah, if you like literally just get his BT and try to fight with him, you probably won't do very well. Like you got to have his full kit and understand how that works. So definitely, if you're a newer player, check out my guide on how to max out characters, because I think that's probably one of the most common things that I hear from people is they're like, oh, I got all these 3 new really good characters, but I can't beat Shinryu. Why not? Well, I find out they're missing a bunch of weapons, and they don't have them fully maxed out, and they're missing huge parts of the character's kits. So maxing out characters is a really important thing in this game, so make sure you guys know how to do that. And once again, I do have a guide on that. Maybe I'll link it at the end of this video just because I brought it up in the video. I'll link my maxing characters guide. I am going to re-record a new one when Vice comes out. Because, you know, my previous 2 guides, I did it like the very old school way. But the new guide function is very, very good. So I'm going to do like a really simplified version of my maxing characters guide when Vice comes out. That'll be the plan. So yeah, we're just going through here. Rosa's doing another echo. We're on turn 7. This is right where I was on stream. Now what I did on stream that made me come up a little bit short was I just hopped into Astos BT because I wanted the 7-turn BT effect. Well, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to waste a turn for Rain's Call, which Rain's Call still does good damage. And all I'm going to be missing is like I won't have force time on the BT attack, but that's fine. That's not really the strong part of his damage. It's all coming in between, right? So we're going to get the Rain's Call on. We're going to have launching going. And so up until this point, it's pretty much just been set up, right? And then now we go into the burst phase. So we've got, you know, Penelo BT effect. We got Rosa BT effect. We've got Astos BT effect up. We have 2 echoes, but we're not even going to use them. We're just going to go right in the burst phase. And then what I want to do is I want to make sure my dark matter is maxed out. So I'm going to go into LD first just to make sure I can get some dark matter. And his LD will hit pretty decent here. And now we've got launch damage to back it, right? So yeah, 57 million, not bad for my first hit there. Now the big thing is like Dark Thrust is his best, I feel like, single target attack. That and the EX are both like really, really good. So I want to make sure that I get my free skill use and use it on that. So now you can see after the LD I have a free skill use. So now I can use that on Dark Thrust, which I believe is what I do here, because Dark Thrust hits really hard. Now this is at 668. Realistically, I probably should use the LD a little bit later to use this at a higher percent, but that's fine. So yeah, we got 80 mil there. Now you notice the boss has a ton of thresholds, and we're peeling through them, right? So that's what all those gathering energy things are. But then he's also doing like these big Hadouken attacks to us, right? These gravity HP attacks actually don't count against us for the HP mission, which is really good. So the only thing that counts against us is the HP poison, and since Astos has HP regen on, we're absolutely fine for the HP condition. So we are actually free to just kill him during this burst phase, and we actually will still meet the HP requirements, because that's something I was worried about going through here. So we got a little 40 mil shot there. So these flare stars, like, it's going to do a ton of damage, right? But we keep Astos Brave super high. He doesn't get broken. It's gravity, so we don't actually die from them. And once again, it doesn't count against our HP mission, which is really nice that they did that. Now I think it's probably a good time. Yeah, we'll do Dark Slash, because that's better against multiple targets. But it'll still do pretty good damage here. So yeah, 54 mil is solid. It's funny when like 50-something mil is like the weaker end of the attacks. We're going to see the Big Daddy attacks here pretty soon, and it's going to be overkill. So we've got the EX, and then we're going to save the Dark Thrust for the end, because Dark Thrust is really freaking strong. So is the EX. This EX is going to hit very hard. We're at 903%. So yeah, 102 million burst phase. Or not burst phase, but burst attack. That could be a burst phase for some characters. And actually, I like Penelo's FR here a little bit better than Rosa's, because you can see when we're trying to do this burst phase, we're constantly below 100% HP. So Rosa doesn't get full gauge if we're not at 100% HP. So here's the Dark Thrust. This is actually the biggest attack of the whole thing. So this here is what? Yeah, 122 million. So Astos looking pretty good. Absolutely blew this boss up. And once again, it looks dire because our health is so low, but it doesn't count against us. So you'll see here, you can see I keep checking the mission. Like, I'm obsessed with it. And it's like, yep, it says I've only taken 4,000 damage. So we'll fight back. We'll hit him with his own medicine there at the end. And there you go. 460 million burst phase against a single target. I'd say that's pretty good for a single target, dude. That's absolutely crazy, the amount of damage this man puts out. So anyways, guys, let me know how you handled Dare to Defy 7. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.